Okay, so up to now we had done a few topics, and I hope all those things you have all revised. So today's topic will be uh, three things we'll be doing. Uh, that is very simple. That is output, formatting, and input. And then we'll be doing in chapter fourth some of the crucial and important things, and those are like for loop operators and all those things. Okay. In control, we'll be understanding if else, while, for, and break and continue. So this is one of the major uh, like one of the backbone that you will be using every single day, like now and then you have to use every time you have to use this control flow. Okay, so without wasting any time, let's go with the Python output. So what happens is, when you are writing any code, you want the user to see, whenever the code is run, you want the user to see some output on the screen, right? So for that, we use a command called as print function. So anything with these brackets, as I told in the first class itself, anything with these brackets are termed as function. So this is a function, okay, and the use of this function is to give output. Okay, anything that you write inside this, Python will understand that user is asking me to print something. So I'll just do one thing. I'll write a code to print my name. So everybody can do it after this. So I am writing my name Bridge as my name. See, so as it is, this will be printed. I press Control Enter, or you can press this arrow here. So whatever thing was written in this double quote, it is going to get printed. And sorry, excuse me, I have some problem with my tongue. So if I'm not very clear, just let me know. I have some ulcers. Okay, so anything that is written between double quote is string, and whatever you write it in the print function, it is going to get printed as it is. Okay, if I write anything outside it, like 9, okay, if I run it now, so what output I'm going to get? You see, this is going to print. Why 9 is getting printed? Because this is a number, okay? It's not getting any error because this is a number. But if I write anything like this and I try to print it, I'm getting error because Python is thinking this as a variable. There is something named as bridge and it should have some value. Now, when it is searching in its database, where is this word bridge and what is the value it is storing, it is not getting anything. So it is returning me what kind of error? Name, anything. Identifiers are what? Identifiers are names, naming words. So name bridge is not defined, means it is not defined earlier. So I am not able to find it in my database what exactly bridge means. But if I write bridge is equals to 9, and now if I run it, so this is going to trace back its origin to this place, and it is giving us the result 9. This is one simple thing. So if you write anything in your double quotes in the print statement, it is going to get printed as it is. So here is a variable v1 and the value is 600. So I'm going to write the value of v1 is double quotes comma v1. So it is going to give us what? It is going to give us the value of v1 is this. Now I'm using plus statement here. Let's see what's happening. If I give this plus statement, it is giving me an error because what I'm trying to do is I'm telling Python, please add whatever the value of v1 is into this string. This is what? This is what? This is a string. And v1 is what? v1 is integer. If you want to check what it is, just use the command what? Type of will give us not type of, type, print, print type gives a what type of data we are using. And let me comment this line. So you see it is integer, and in this line this last print statement, I'm using plus sign. Plus is an operator. So I'm trying to add integer with the string. So that is not possible. Okay. So to add this particular integer into this first string, I have to convert them into same type of data type. So v1 is integer, I'll convert it into string. For that, I'll use str. If you remember in our previous lecture, I covered this, how to convert and do the data type casting or data type conversion. Now you see it is not giving an error because whatever the value in v1 was, it is now converted to string. Okay, so it's not like you always want uh, the output to be printed at last. Sometimes you want here. So if there is a variable named v1, v11 and v12, 11 and 12. So v11 has 200 and v12 has 440. So I want to be printed like this. v11 is equals to 200 and v12 is equals to 400. Okay, so I want this value, whatever the value, to be, one way is to do is I'll write directly here print in double quotes whatever I give, v11 is equals to 200 and v12 is equals to 40. So if I run it, the answer is correct, right? But if I change it to 400, what is going to happen is this particular answer is wrong because v12 is changed to 400, but still I'm getting 40. So what is happening here is this particular value that we are trying to print should be dynamic. When I say dynamic, it means when the original value is getting changed, it should change in the output as well. Okay, it should change in the output as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this. So the first way is make a curly bracket. So whatever the curly bracket you put here, open and close, and then you have to write dot format. Okay, what do you write? Whatever value you want to replace, you put curly bracket over there and you have to write dot format. And what this curly bracket, you want to replace this curly bracket with what value? So you want to replace with any value. So you write the value here. So if there are more than one, you write that many like brackets here. So I have value 1, then value 2. So each, this first bracket is getting replaced with value 1. Second value, sorry, bracket is getting replaced with value 2. Let me write here 2. So here v11 curly bracket open and close is the value of, is the half of v12, and I put here curly bracket. So as I said, dot format. So this v11 is going to, v11 is going to be printed here and v12 is going to be printed here. So if I run it here, you see we are getting this output. This bracket is getting replaced with v11. Now if I make it 40 and if I make it 20, our output is going to change. You see, it is a dynamic formatting of your output. So whatever your result will be, it is going to get changed. So there is also another way. So this is your first value, sorry, and this is your second value, right? But in computer, any programming language, the counting starts from 0. So this is 0th element and this is first element. You can also write the index or the address here, position number. So v12 is your first one here and v11 is 0th. So you write here 0 and it is going to get us the value. Okay, if I change this to v1, what I'm going to get is 400. See, v1 first at position number 1, position number is this v12, position number 1 is v12, v11 is 0th position and v12 is at first position. So I'm changing everything at position. So you can also write position as the argument. So this was just what a number. you can also write some value here to replace it. So in curly bracket, I'm writing instead of 1 or 0 or leaving it blank, I'm writing some values. So name, I'm writing here name. Now it will check here. It is same as assigning operator, right? So instead of assigning here v11 is equals to 20, v12 is equals to 40, I could also do it in another way. I'll write here control C. Okay, I have pasted here. So what I'm going to do is here I want just a second. Sorry. So v12, I'm getting replacing it with v12 and replacing this as v11, and let me comment these. Okay, now here, since I'm writing here small letter, I'm changing it to that. So v11 is equals to 20 and v12 is equals to 40. You see what I'm doing is instead of initializing here, I'm initializing it here itself. So v11 is equals to 20 and it is going to change the values and it is going to give us the result. You see here. So this is another way. Same, you can do it for even strings. So here I have given the name. Yeah, sorry, I had a call. Okay, so here name is getting replaced with bridge and DS is getting replaced with data science here. So what I will be getting answer as welcome bridge, because name is getting replaced with whatever written here to the world of DS. DS is getting replaced with data science here. So this is our first output. We can use variables initialization in this also. Second way, that was first way was using the indexes here, and without indexes then we had a variable declaration. Third way is we can combine all three into one. That is also possible. So see, combining indexes and the name here. So 0th position, first position, and here subject. So at 0th position we have bridge, at first position we have data science, and in third one we have some variable named as subject, and whatever the value subject is storing here, it is Python that is going to be replaced with that. So if I run it, I'm going to get welcome bridge to the world of data science. Today we are learning Python. You see, Python is here replacing this subject. Then we have some basic formatting of numbers. So this is one such formatting, like to get the plus sign or minus sign. So here we have 3.14. So if you want the sign, you put it like this. And if you want minus 3.14, you put it like this. So mostly it is same. To understand, like there are many more formattings. You can just go to this Python docs. Okay, you can search here. Python doc for output formatting. See, input and output formatting here. In documentation, you can open it. So Python has already its database where it tells what exactly to be done and how it is to be done. So you see, hello world str, it is converting into string and then it is getting as printed. So there are different type of formattings. See, 0.3f, it is going to give us 3 decimal places. Okay, math is a function, math.py go inside math function and find the pi is also variable that is stored general value, and dot 3f means after decimal 3 places, so you see 3.142. Okay, let's take this example. Okay, wait, I'm just doing it for you so that you can also go there and try doing it by yourself as well. So I'll change it to 4 decimal places. You see 3.1416. So this is basic formatting. So one of the easiest thing you will learn in Python is printing, outputting and inputting. Input the like some of the variable names or anything, or getting output. This is one of the easiest thing in Python. Okay. So these kind of, because I do not want my answers to be more than 2 decimal place, then I'll modify it to this. So you can just Google it and understand more how to do or what are the different types of formatting in great depth. Okay, there are many functions, so ignore as of now this import line. Okay, I will cover it in later stages. So now coming back to input. So if I want user to, whenever there is a program running and I want my user, whosoever is using my software or program, to input some value. Okay, so we will use the command input. That's very simple, right? I want to get the input, I'll use the command input. So I want user to input the length of my triangle, length, sorry, not triangle but rectangle. So length I want input. That's simple. Input. So as soon as I run, you see I'm getting a box here. I enter 10. Length of my uh, rectangle is stored in this variable length. And now if I print, length is equals to comma length. Now if I run it, see, I give 20 and then I get length is equals to 20. Now can you all try this code very soon, like in 30 seconds? Take a variable, get the input and print it. Just do it. We'll wait for 30 seconds and let's see if it is working for you. Just let me know when it is done in this comment section, or you raise your hands. I'll check. Okay. If it's done, just raise your hands. Please try it. This is very important. Whatever concept we are trying to do is very important now. Just try doing it. Is it done? Take a variable, name anything. Okay. Then equals to, you write input, a single quote. Now print it. Okay. Now do one thing, just check the type of length, what type of data you have got input. Okay, I'm going to this and I'm just trying to check print, sorry, typ type bracket length. So I asked my user to input something and they have inputted something and I'm getting the output. Now I'm going to check whether it is input, the value that we have input, what type of input it is. So if I run it and I get input 20, so what's happening is, if you remember second class, whatever thing you input into the Python, by default it is going to be string. So you see you are getting the class string. So what is the problem here? The problem is length plus 2, if I'm trying to do this, I will be getting some kind of error. And what kind of error is that? Concatenation, because we did just it right here. We tried to add string with some numerical value, that is integer, so that was not possible. So how to solve this? I want this input data as integer, so I will write int bracket. So this is type conversion. So now if I do it, okay, type, I have changed whatever you input, I am getting it changed to integer. So I enter 12. You see the length is equals to 12 and the class has changed to integer. This is typecasting or data type conversion. So the default value is string, and to convert it to integer we have to write int, then pass that value inside the int function. Similarly, coming back to the next one, user input is equals to input, please enter. You can also, so in this previous one what it was giving us just a simple plain box, right? And I do not, the user will not know what exactly you have to enter, so you can also pass some message into that input box. So now what I have written inside the input, I have written double quotes, please enter some data. So here whatever I'm going to enter is, it is going to be stored in this user input, but along with that I'm getting what, I'm getting an instruction in my input statement, and that is the best thing. So if the user, suppose a website you are logging, trying to log in, and it does not give which one is username and which one is password, it's just giving you a blank box to enter, so you will get confused, right? Okay, you have to enter, but which one in which box? So to make it clear, you give an give a message. So here you have message, and that is going to be printed as it is, and then whatever the value you enter here is going to be stored in that particular variable, and you can use it at a later point of time. So again we are doing it here, so just trying to understand what kind of class we are. So converting it to integer, this is what we have done it few minutes back. Okay, so now we are going to the next chapter. In this we'll be covering operators. We'll cover operators very fast, and then we'll go with the control flow. So in the basic mathematics, right, so you have different numbers, okay, and different symbols like plus, minus, okay, and many more things are there. So plus minus is the one of the basic thing that you have been using, even the non-coders or the even the kids use plus and minus, okay. So what basically is plus or minus or anything else, something like that? What these are? So these are called as operators. Operators, why? Because these things are going to operate over few things. Suppose I have length and breadth, and I'm asking you to find the perimeter. So this operator, plus operator or multiply operator, is going to do what? Do some calculation over the length and breadth. So our perimeter will be what? Our perimeter will be length plus breadth plus length plus breadth, right? So what this is what it is going to do, it is going to add all the sides. So similarly, let's take another example. 4 plus 5 is equals to 9. Here plus is an operator, and this plus operator is being applied on two numbers 4 and 5. So these 4 and 5 are called as operands. So operator is applied on operands. So there are operators which require two operands. There are operators which require three operands. There are operators which require only one operands. Okay. So it is like unary operator that is requiring only one. Binary operator, you see 4 plus 5 is a binary operator that will need at least two operands. Then we have tertiary operators, okay, that will need three operands. So there are different types of operator, like arithmetic operators, one which you have seen plus, other you can see as minus, division. Okay, modulus operator we did few days back for remainders. Okay, then we have comparison or relational. So relational operators find what? The relation between two operands. What kind of relation? Like if A is greater than B, A is less than B. So it is finding the relation between two operators. Logical operators or Boolean operators. Okay. Then bitwise assignment operators. We have been using assignment operators all the time. Is equals to sign is called as this here. This is what? Assignment operator. What it is doing it is assigning the value at the right side. Whatever value you are having at the right side, it is getting assigned to the left side. Now let's do it variable mathematical operators. So for addition, okay, I'll write variable 1 plus variable 2.
The screen is visible to everyone. No? Like, it is visible, but I think it is stuck. Yes.
Sorry, yeah, thank you for reminding. Okay, I'll scroll back. I forgot to share it back. Okay, so we were covering operators. So this is plus and 4 plus 5 example that we did. 4 and 5 are operands and plus sign is operator. So operators types are arithmetic, comparison. Well, we need not to remember, just understand. Okay, these you should have an idea. Okay, these things are there, and what exactly how they work, it we'll be covering it now. Okay, so I have two variables. Okay, I'm going to add these two variables. Why is it giving me some error? Okay, here I have written wrong spelling. Variable 2. Okay, okay. You see I got an error for indentation, so be careful with that. So I'm adding two variables here. So answer is 7, and then again I'm doing the subtraction part here, minus, and I get 3. I can even do the multiplication here. So this is multiplication. Then we have division. So division is going to give us what? And decimal point. Okay, point values. Then we have modulus, that is going to give us what? Remainder. Okay, now this is something we are going to use to get the floor values, floor or the quotient. Okay, so if you divide 5 by 2, what is the basic answer that we'll get as a quotient is how many times 5 it's getting divisible without going into fractions. Okay, so 2 times 2 is 4. So if we ignore the decimal part, we can continue dividing 5 only 2 times. So we are going to get as 2, or the quotient part. So we are getting here 2. In other way, you can understand there are two things, floor and seal. Okay, ceiling is the top and floor is basically the bottom part. So if you have any decimal number, so floor is going to give us the nearest smallest integer. So if I have 2.5, what is the nearest integer? So one will be 2 and one will be 3. So which one is the smallest? 2. So we are going to get 2. Floor is going to give us the base value, and seal is just to remember, floor is on the downside and ceiling is at the top side. So if you have seal, CEIL, so you will get 3. Then we have exponent or the power. Okay, 5 raised to the power 2, that is going to be 25. Okay, this is power. In some other language, you might get a caret symbol. Caret symbol is something like this. Oh, where is it? This is caret symbol, right? In some languages, you use caret symbol. So this was arithmetic operators, where you can do the basic arithmetic operations. Then we have comparison operators, where you find the relation. You compare two variables and then find what? The relation between two variables. And whenever I compare, what kind of answer I'm going to get? Is variable 1 greater than variable 2? What kind of answer I'm going to get? I'm going to get two things, either yes or no, true or false. So the answer for the comparison or the relational operator is Boolean. Boolean means true or false. Variable 1 greater than variable 2. And if I run it, so variable 1 is greater, variable 1 is 5 and variable 2 is 2. So this is true, yes. Now if I do this, less than variable 1 less than variable 2, false. This is false, this is not true. And then we have not equals to. Not equals to, that is variable 1 is not equals to variable 2. That is true. Both are not same. But if I write 5 and now if I check it, I'm getting false. So basically it is equals, like 1 is equals to 2, but we are giving not equals to. That's why it is giving us error. It is throwing us an error. Okay, so it is done, variable 1. So let's understand the logical operator. Okay, how does this work? So there are three. First is and, second is or, and third is not. So and operator, like let's take a basic example. On a table there are two fruits. One is apple and another is banana. So if the examiner or I ask you, give me an apple and a banana. So what you are going to pick? You are going to pick both, right? Not just one. But if I ask, give me an apple or banana, so what you are going to do is you are going to give me either of these, any one, or you can give both, does not matter, but you are going to give me at least one. Okay. And if I say I do not want banana, I don't want banana, so you are going to give us apple. So in computer language, if I try to understand, there are two things, this is apple and this is banana. So if I want apple and banana, then you are going to give me both. So if both are true, then you are going to get answer true. If any of them is false, like there is no banana on the table, you have only apple, and if I ask you, give me an apple and banana, so you are not going to give me anything because my condition said I want both apple and banana. Okay. So you are not going to give me, your order is not going to get fulfilled, so that is why false. If I ask again, give me apple and banana, but this time you don't have apple, you just have banana, so you will give me nothing. If there are nothing, no fruits on the table, you are not going to give me anything. Okay. So in and what happens, if the both conditions are true, only then we are going to get true value. Whereas in OR operator, if any of the condition is true, I'm going to get a true output. See, apple and banana both are there. You give it to me, true. Only apple is there, so okay, you will give it to me. Only banana is there, you will give it to me. If no fruits are there, you will not be giving me anything. Not is very clear. Whatever is asked, you do just opposite. It's just a sense, like if the condition is true, then we get answer false. Suppose there is a banana on the table, sorry, apple is on the table, right? I do not want apple. Even if there is apple on the table, I do not want apple, so you are not going to give me banana, right? So that is why not value will be false. Let's understand here. Variable 1 is equals to true and variable 2 is equals to false. So I'll get true in case of and only when both are true, and in case of or if either of the variable is true. So if I run it, one is true and another is true, false. So for and I'm getting what? False. For or case I'm getting true. And not variable 2, variable 2 is having what? False. So it is giving me what? Variable 1, that is true. So don't worry about this thing much, just understand you the concept. It is not that crucial to be used. And now we are coming back to bitwise. This is not used very widely, but still I'm just telling you. Okay, sometime you have to operate with binary digits, and in that case you use these bitwise operators. Okay, and this is used like 8 bits are there. 1 byte is equals to how to tell, this is not used in data science field, but if you are in some like core coding, you might use this, right? Left shift, right shift are also there. Okay, so you can google it. As of now I'm going to ignore it, but it is there, like bitwise operator is there. I'm going to operate skip it. So the binary value of 3 is, see, 0011. Okay, so for 8 bits here we have 8 bits. For the binary value of 3 is 000. So this is your sign. These first 4 numbers are your sign, and then we have this, what it is called as the binary conversion of this number 3. And for 7 it's 111. So print variable 1 and the symbol, this is, if you write and this way, it is bitwise operator. And variable 2, so what is going to happen is this and this. Okay, so this is going to convert into this. How is it converting? I'll not going to explain that because that's waste of time for this particular course. It's not much utilized. You can anyway google it and learn. Okay, so I'm skipping that part. So we have, next is one of the important thing is assignment operator. Assignment basically means whatever the value you have on the left, it is going to be assigned to or put into the sorry, whatever thing is on the right, it is going to be stored into the left part. So here I'm assigning 50 to a variable name as age. So 50 is going to get stored into age, and that is happening because of this equal to sign. So this equal to sign is used as what? This is used as assignment operator. So there are multiple assignment operators. So you can write 40 is equals to wage. One way is that. Okay, age or wage, whatever thing you write. Wage is basically uh, salary of a person, okay, in dollar per hour. If somebody is getting $30, okay, and I want to increase it by $10, so wage is equals to 30 plus 10. This is what we are going to do, right? There is another shortcut. Wage is equals plus equals to 10. So what it is going to do is, it is going to, this basically, this line particularly means wage is equals to wage plus 10. Okay, plus equals to means wage is equals to whatever the variable is here, so that is equals to, and then plus, if you have plus then plus, if minus then minus, whatever the symbol is here, you replace the arithmetic operator here and then this particular value. So in this example you see here wage is equals to 40, wage plus equals to 4. So this basically means wage plus 4, wage plus 4. Then we have wage is minus equals to 7, so that is equals to wage is equals to wage minus 7. Wage is equals to wage into 4. Wage is equals to wage divided by 4. So either you can write this shortcut method, or you can write it completely the normal way how we write it. Wage is equals to wage divided by 4. You can write it whatever feels like you feel is good for you, or you are comfortable with that thing, you can use that. Okay, then we have some special operators. Okay, so first is and is not. Okay, if I write if I ask in English language, Apple is banana. Okay, is word is used for a question, like it's an interrogative word. So apple is banana. So your answer will be either true or false. Okay. Yes, it is true. No, it is not true. So is and is not are some special operators, and these are called as identity operators, and these give us boolean answers. So let me give an example where you can use it in code. Suppose user has input some password. Okay. And okay, let me write the code for it. User is inputting some password. Passcode I have decided 1234. This is my passcode. I'm making a variable that is password. I'm asking user to input some password, and then I'm printing some message by checking if it is, if both are same, then I'm going to open the lock for him. Otherwise I will not open the lock. Okay. So I'm entering my password as 123, and if I enter, I'm getting what? False. So this is giving me what? False. That is, my password is not same as pass. So I cannot open the lock for you. Sorry. Oh, just a second. Yeah. So I cannot open the lock for you because both things are not same. Similarly, is not, we can use is not. Not, whenever you use not, that is negation. If I run it now, so pass, the keyword that pass that I have already stored is 1234 is not password, and I'm entering the password as same as pass. So it is wrong. Both are same, right? So pass is not password. Why is it giving me true? Just a second. What's wrong with this? It should give me false. Just a second. There's something wrong with this. I don't know what's happening. So this one is correct. Is not, right? Variable 1 is not variable 2, but this is not case. Both are same, so it should give me false. You see, I'm getting here false. I don't know why it's not working here. Pass is not password. So 1234 is not 123, so it should give me true. Now if I give 1234, that is 1234 is not 1234. This should give me false. This is giving me true. That is wrong. Okay, so here list 1, list 2. I can also compare the list wise. My list 1 is my list 2. This is again wrong. There is something wrong with this. I don't know what's happening here. Okay, skip it. As of now we are just going to understand, okay, there are two things, that is identity operators, is and is not. I'll come back, I'll check it what's happening here with the reason. I don't understand as of now what's happening here. Then we have second special operator as a membership operator, and that is very important one, that is in and not in. So in is going to check within some list or tuple. Okay, so this statement is I have a list 3, and we have some variables here, a, 22, b, and the 100, and I'm going to check 22 in list 3. So what this is going to do is it is going to check whether 22 is present in this variable. Okay, whether it is in this list. If it is not there, it will give us false. Let me make it 23, and it is going to give us false. See, because 23 is not in this list. Similarly, I can check it for dictionary, but in dictionary what I have to check is key value here, right? If I write here apple, I'm checking the value here. Okay, I can check the value also. Apple double E, sorry, yeah. So I checked for key, and then I checked for this value. It is working for both. You can use it for both. I have not used much these two operators, but yes, sometimes you will need it, and you'll feel that these are the one of the best way to use it. Coming to one of the most crucial thing from where you will start your coding journey, this is control. Okay, so during coding you will come up with the chances where you have to take certain decision, and on the basis of those decisions you have to move further ahead. Okay, so let's understand if during your childhood days, like if there was rain you will not go to school, and if there is no rain you can go to school. So if raining, then don't go to school, otherwise or else go to school, right? So what is happening here is we are making a decision on the basis of certain condition, right? So this is called as if else. If some conditions are satisfied, then we have to follow something, otherwise or else we follow some other instructions. So simple funda is on the basis of uh, certain conditions we have to follow few things, and if it is not happening, then we can follow some other set of rules. So let me show you uh, if else flowchart. Okay, so you see here, so start expression false. Okay, let me take some other basic one. Yeah, so I'm starting from this start point. Okay, I'm just checking the condition. If it is false, go to else code, but if it is true, then go to if code. Okay, this condition is basically what we are going to check. So if the condition is true, we are going to do something. If not, then we cannot do. Like if I want to check age is greater than 18, if age is greater than 18, I can print a message adult, right? If it is not 18, that is else. What I'm going to print is I'm going to print not an adult. This is our message. Okay, so this is the syntax. So this is my condition, this is my if block. If this is the condition, then colon, if this is true, do these all things. Okay, I'll write this again one more line, print this is if block, and you see I have made an indentation here. Indentation means this is inside if block. And if it is not true, like age is not greater than 18, then definitely we have to go to some other option, and that is else. So here print this is else block. Now you see I'm getting a small arrow like underlining here under age. It is happening why? Because as of now there is no variable that is storing age. So I'm going to ask user to input some age, okay, in double quote. Age is some message, and then I'll run it. So if I enter age is equals to 12, sorry, let's do first 19. So it will come here into the next line here, and it will check if whatever the value that is given to age, is it greater than 18. If it is true, if it is greater than 18, it is going to read these two lines only. It will ignore these else part. Okay, only one part will be activated at a time. Either if it is if, or it is else. None of these two will be getting activated at the same time. Only one, like either it is if or it is else. So as of now I'm getting age is 19, that is greater than 18, that is true. So I'll be getting if block activated, you see. So it is giving me an output as adult, and this is if block. But if I rerun it and if I give it 12, what it is going to give us? Not an adult, this is an else block. Okay, so this is one basic query. Suppose if I want multiple conditions, okay, suppose I'll just copy this code again. So if it is adult, I'm going to check something else. Okay, okay, wait, else if elif. So if it is 18, I'm going to check certain thing conditions and execute it. Otherwise check second condition. What is my second condition? Age is greater than 60. Greater than, sorry, less than 5. So I'm going to print a message infant. Else I'm going to print another message. Just a second, give me 1 minute. I'll type the code and then explain what it is. Print kid. Okay, so now I have made three conditions. First is if age is greater than 18, then you have to do certain tasks. You have to print these or thing. Otherwise, if it is not 18, else if, otherwise check another condition, and that another condition is if age is less than 5. So what is happening here? I'm checking one condition. It is not fulfilled. Then go and check for next condition. If it is not fulfilled, go to the next. Like it is multiple, like a multiple conditions, right? So this is what happening here. Now it will check if it is less than 5, then I'll print infant. And if it is, what is happening here? This is basically giving us what? This is giving us less than 18 and greater than 5. All the kids who are lying in this area will be falling in this here, this range. So if I write 12, I'll be getting else block kid. But if I write 18, sorry, 19, I'm getting if block. But if I write here 5, sorry, 4, less than 5, right? So I'm writing 4, I'm getting else if block, this particular thing. So there are multiple ways to utilize this. If else, this is if else, then if elif else, that is if this condition is true, do this, otherwise check another condition. Like multiple ifs are there, then do this. So this is elif condition. Okay, syntax is if, then you have to write whatever the test condition or expression you have here, write that, and double colon, and then statements. Can I write if without else statement? Let's check it. If age is greater than 10, yes, only if works. So I'll make age is equals to 19 and I will run it. Let's see if it is working. Yes, it is working. You can also use single if, no need to write else. Okay, if this is true, do this. That's finished. That's over. Now let's see some other thing. Like I'm going to check if a statement, if a number is equals to 10, 20. Okay, yeah. So you see here in this indentation part, this is inside if and this is outside if. So what is going to happen? If the number is less than 15, then only this line is getting printed. Otherwise, it will not print. So if number is 20, that is only outside if block is getting printed. But if it is made as 2, this is what our output is. Anybody has any doubt up to now? Please clear it. Okay. So next thing is in computer language, what like 0 is false. Okay. And 1 is true. So if I run this, if minus 1 print, see I have not given any variable here. If minus 1 inside if minus 1 is basically what? False. If false, then you have to print this, otherwise this. Now here value is equals to minus 1 bool val. Okay, so minus 1 is not 0. Anything is 0, that is your false, and other than 0 anything is true. So if condition is going to get executed only when the condition is true. So here what I'm doing is, here I'm writing as minus 1. Okay, so minus 1 is true because anything is 0 is false, other than that it's false. So if I write it 0 here, it is going to print only outside if. But if I write anything else here, suppose minus 1, so it is going to give us both, because 0 is false but anything other than 0 is true. Condition syntax is if, then write your condition, then what is inside that condition, otherwise yani ki else, body of the else. This is normal. So age example we have already covered, then we have already covered this elif example. So there is a concept called as nested if inside if. So let me take another example here. Okay, let's do the below one. So age is 14. If age is greater than 13, if condition is true, go inside the if block and check another condition. If it is less than, age is less than 19, then print teen, otherwise adult, else child. So what is happening here is, I'm asking the user here. Okay, let me ask here, int input. So if I enter 12, okay, so 12, it is not following this condition, then it is not going to execute this whole block. This whole block is not going to execute, and I'm getting this output as a child. But if I make it 13, what is happening is, it is going to get activated here. It is going, this condition is getting true. Now I'm going to get inside this. Okay, let me print one message here. Inside if block. Okay, I enter 13. So see, I was inside the if block, then I checked next line and it was again a condition, and that condition asked me to check whether the age value that I have entered is less than 19. If it is true, print teen, otherwise print adult. So only teen has been printed, not the adult. Okay, and once this is done, this part is ignored and I'm getting this last line. This will always get executed because it is outside the if block. Okay. So similarly, there are different things. You can write a small program where you can check whether if the password entered by a user is correct or not. If it is correct, ask them to input the uh, username. Okay, something like that. You can make a program out of that. Then we have loops. You remember the first class where we did like I have to print my name multiple times, then we have to use loops. There are two types of loop. One is while loop and another is for loop. Okay, so while is basically the method of writing while loop is while you write this keyword while, then the condition, and if the condition is true, then this particular body of while, that these lines are executed. Let's see it by an example. So I have a list that has some values 7, 2, 13, 44 and 5. Two variables, sum is equals to 0 and index is equals to 0. Then I have a variable named as L that is going to store the length of my list. So length of my list is basically how many numbers are there, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, right? Then we have while. I'm going to find the sum of all these numbers while index is less than L. Okay, first index is 0. Okay, let's make another. Okay, let's continue. We'll take it in for loop. So index is less than L. This is our condition. First I write while, then I write whatever the condition is. Condition is if the index is less than L, then go inside the while and do these things. Do these things. So what it is going to do is I have made a variable sum. It is going to add sum is equals to sum plus my list index. So my list is this is my list, and whatever the value is index, it is going to, so first it is going to be like this, my list 0, then it will be 1, then it will be 2, then it will be 3, then 4. How is this changing? Index is changing by this command, index is equals to index plus 1, and it is repeating again and again up to what condition? Until and unless index is less than L. So let's dry run. Dry run is basically running without Python or any code. You are running it in your mind. So when index is 0, we have L is equals to length. Okay, length my list. What is length? Here we have length is 5. So what I am going to check, while 0 is less than 5. Is it true? Yes, it is true. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do sum. Sum is what? At first is equals to 0. Sum is 0. 0 plus my list, whatever element at 0th position. This is what? This is equals to S is equals to 0 plus 7. And this becomes 7. So sum is now 7. Now index is equals to index plus 1. Earlier index was 0, now plus 1. So what it becomes? Index becomes 1. Now go back again to while loop. While now index is 1. 1 is less than 5. Okay. If it is true, go inside. S is equals to S plus my list 1. So S is equals to now 7 plus my list. What is the value here? Index now. Index is now, in the previous one it was 1. So my list 1. So this is basically equals to 7 plus 2. and that is going to be 9. So what is the value of s now in the second time? It is 9. So in the next run, index is equals to index plus 1. So index is now 1 plus 1, it is going to be 2. Now again I'm going to check while 2 is less than 5. Similarly, 2 is less than 3. Sorry, 3 is less than 5. Then 4 is less than 5. Then will come 5 less than 5. Okay, last one. While 5 is less than 5. So is it true? No. So this condition will stop here and it will come to last outside of the while block, and that is print line, print sum, blah blah. Okay, in this case what is happening here is we are adding sum is equals to 9 plus 13. Okay, and index is happening to be 3, and in this case while 3 is less than 5. So if you understand how to dry run anything, you are going to solve any code. Means when I say any code, means any code. Not even a single code is there that you cannot do. And how you can do this dry run? By understanding the logic, what your question is asking you to do, and understanding and developing a habit of breaking your problem into smaller problems. Okay, suppose I have to make a pasta, white sauce pasta. So you have the problem as making a pasta. Let's take it Maggie, very simple word. Okay, I have to make a Maggie. So what do you need for that? You need some noodle, you need some gas, you need some lighter to burn the gas, you need some utensils, you need some water, you need some peas and mutters and all those things, right? So you make a list. You need these all many things. So next what you are going to do? If the water is boiled by 30 degree, put the noodles into that. Okay, if it is semi cooked, put the masala into that. If it is approximately 100% cooked, add some onion or any toppings on that. So you are dividing your problem into smaller problems. So by that way you are going to understand the logic in a better way, right? So once you do that, you are going to solve any programming questions that is on your way, right? Nothing is left. So this is how you do while loop. Coming to I'll not cover these all. Okay, let me tell this also. Else we have two things, break and continue. Okay, so break is basically is going to stop your program at that point of time. Okay, so here I have list, index is 10, index is 10, a variable having index, while index is less than length of my list. So length of my list is 5. Okay, if index is less than length of my list, print that particular value and then break, and index is equals to this, else complete iterating the list, blah blah blah. So I have this value as 4, index is equals to 4, 4 is less than 5, that is true. So we are going to get what? We are going to either way printed 4. Just a second. 0 1 2 3 4, 4 is less than 5, print my index this. Okay, yes. So index is 4 here. So fourth position is 0 1 2 3 and 4. So what I'm going to get is 5. This line is going to get printed and I'm going to get this. Now if I want to print here, print what has happened with brick. Okay, let me run it again. So I have got 5. Okay, Break means this is not going to repeat again. This condition is getting stopped as soon as this condition is met, and this is going to what? Stop it. And this either way printed is, it is outside the while block, that is why it is getting printed. So break statement is used to stop the flow of, or the control of flow, whereas continue statement is used to keep the flow working. Okay, now let me, I just wanted to come to this statement. Yeah, so I'm asking, this is a program to calculate the factorial. Factorial is basically, suppose I have 5, so factorial is 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So product of all the numbers up to 5, this is what factorial is. So I know what is the logic to calculate the factorial of a number. Just think, just think about that. What is the logic? So logic says I have to find the what? Product of all numbers from 1 to 5. If I have to find for 10, then product of all the numbers from 1 to 10. This is one way. So this is the logic. And if it is 0, the product will be 0. That's why first we have to check it should not be 0. So I'm asking the user to input a number, enter a positive non-zero number, and then I'm converting it to integer, and I'm storing it, that thing, to number. If our number is less than equals to 0, first I'm checking it should not be 0, 0 or 0 negative. Then print invalid number, please, and re-enter. And then again I'm asking user to re-enter that number, and number is getting stored again to integer form. Otherwise, else. Else means the number is already in positive format. Okay, thank you. Let me share the result with you. This is one thing. Now there is a variable known as fact is equals to 1. If number is greater than 0, if number is greater than 0, then only we will be finding the factorial. While number is greater than 0, fact star equals to number, number minus 1. What it is doing is, it is going to compare the number with 0. So one way is to find the factorial is to multiply all the numbers from 1 to that number, or subtract 1 from that number and keep multiplying it. Suppose I have entered 5 here, 5. So what I am going to do is, I am comparing while 5 is greater than 0. Okay, fact is equals to fact star means multiply into that number. So at first what fact is storing, fact is equals to 1. So 1 into that number, number is 5, and then I'm reducing the number. So number is equals to now 4, number minus 1. I'm reducing it, now I'm getting it lesser number, number is equals to 4. Now again I'll check if 4 is greater than 0, then fact is equals to, now the fact is 5. From previous loop we have 5. 5 into number, what is number now? 5 into 4. Then again number is equals to number minus 1. So now number is 3. Again we'll check while 3 is greater than 0. If it is true, fact is equals to 5 into 4, that is its old value, that is 20, multiply with the new number 3. This is what we are doing here. This is repeating, and it will repeat up to what? Until and unless number is reduced to 0. As soon as the number value becomes 0, it will stop. Okay, and whatever the value of fact is, it is getting printed. So I'm okay. So here first enter a non-positive, positive non-zero number. This line is getting executed. I enter 1 2. Okay, let me enter minus 12. So what it is going to check, it is converting this minus 12 to number here, integer, and then it is going to this line if number is less than 0. See, if number is less than 0, that is negative, invalid number, please re-enter. I got this message. Then again it is asking me to enter a positive number. Now I enter 12. So it is stored in this number. Now it is going inside this, the else is ignored. Now fact is equals to 1, and then it is doing this. So 12, the factorial of 12 is this. The factorial of 12 is, it is getting printed here. You see, this print statement is outside the while loop. What happens if I write inside the while loop? I'll get the value of fact every time. See, fact. You see? Okay, I'll write everything here. So print my number is n. By this way, writing print statement everywhere, I can understand how the flow is working. Okay. Fact is fact. Okay, so what is going to happen is, after every step I'm going to get some output. So I enter 4, let me enter 3. So our answer should be 3 into 2 into 1, that is 6. So thank you for let me show you the result. So here fact is 1, getting this line, fact is 1. Now fact is 1, going inside if condition, if is true. Okay, now I'm going to inside the loop. Inside the loop I'm printing the number, my number is 3. And here, sorry, I missed this. So here, yeah, fact is 1, my number is 3, the fact is 3. Now number is 2 because number minus 1 minus 1. So now factorial is 3, number is 2, factorial is 6. Now number is 1, the factorial is 6. Now my number is 1, blah blah, number is 0, the factorial number is 6. If it is 0 means the loop will stop in this case. You see, after 0 it is not going to run anytime, it is stopped here. This is the last line. Okay, so this is how the system works for while loop. Similarly, there is another loop that is called as for loop. Okay, let's take an example, same example. So if I want to move from here to here, I have to make an iterator. Iterator means something that is going to like change. So I have made a variable called as element. This is going to store what? This is going to store the position or the element itself. From where? From here. You see, I said we'll be using this operator in. So this is a special operator. So the syntax is for, then we write an iterator. Iterator means you consider it as a person who is going one by one into the elements of this. Okay, so this person is going to one all the elements in this list, and whatever the value that is in that list, it is going to be utilized through element. I can write it in another way. I can also write it here. Okay, list is equals to 12 13 14, and then for I can name it anything. Okay, I in L, print I is I. Now if I run it, what is happening here? So I is a variable that is going one by one in list. Our list is L. So it is going first at 12, then at 13, and then 14. So when it is going at these variables, it is copying the value from there to itself. So when it goes here, so I becomes 12. When it goes here, I becomes 13. When it goes here, I becomes 14. This is way to iterate. This is our iterator. Okay. Now same, if I want to add these elements, so what I'm going to do is I will make a variable sum that is equals to 0 at first, because nothing is there. So what I'm going to do is sum is equals to sum is equals to sum plus I. Okay. And then I'm going to print it. Sum is sum. Now you see I'm writing inside the for loop, so it is going to keep printing every time. So sum is 12. Now sum is 25. Sum is 39. Why? Just a second. Sorry, I had a call. Okay, so what is happening here? It is adding this. So let's understand it more detail by adding more comments here. I is, what is I? Okay. Then again, I'll check what I'm adding to it. Sum is sum. So what's happening here is first I is 12. Okay. Just a second. Yeah. So I is 12, sum is 12. Then I is 13, because see this condition is satisfied. This condition is done. Then again it will go back to for loop. Then again it will go back to for loop. So for loop is basically repeating these many lines. So print I is equals to 12. Then it is performing the summation. Then it is printing that line. So it is printed here. Then again going back to for loop. You can write it here. Print for loop over, and here I can write print for loop starts. I run it. You see I'm getting inside this. Then for loop starts, then I is equals to 12, sum is 12, then for loop gets over, then for loop starts where I is equals to 13, 25 over, starts 14, 39 and over. Okay, only 3 times this is running because we have only 3 values here. So another way we can use is range function. So range 5 is basically going to give us all the values up to 5, up to, not 5, up to 5, less than 5, whatever number you give here n, it is going to give us n minus 1 starting from 0. Another way of writing is you write the starting value from where you want to start it and up to what values and with what many gaps. Okay, so if I ask you to print all the even numbers, so I can do with this. You see, because I know, sorry, I'll start with 2, because even numbers start with 2, then 2, 4, 6 up to, this is going up to 38, not 40. If I need odd numbers, I'll start with 1. So this is one way to start even and odd number, right? If it has some names or other thing also, we can handle it. Okay, so we can handle this part also, like if it is having some kind of functions or not functions, some strings, it can be handled. Then we have a for loop with if and else also. Okay, so this is for loop. It is going to print the names, and then we have else. This is not going to stop because a condition is true, and then completed the name list. We can add if and else inside the for loop also. So let me make a code here. For I in range, okay, so I'll start from 1, I'll go up to 11. So I have to print the even numbers. If so, even numbers means if my number divided by 2, if I divide it by 2 and the remainder is 0, then this is even number. If I modulus 2 is equals to 0, print I. That's simple, right? So sorry, I'm getting here error because I'm assigning 0 into this, but this is not true. We have to use an operator that is called as comparison operator, and that is double equals to. This is comparative operator, and single equal to is assignment operator. So now if I run it, so what it is going to do is for loop is going to take all the numbers from 1 to 10, and then it is going to check if that number divided by 2 is giving me a remainder is equals to 0, then it is going to print it, otherwise it will not print. So I'm getting 2 4 6 8 10. So this is another way of printing even numbers. So if I want odd numbers, then not equals to. Okay, this is another way. Similarly, I can use break statement also. If suppose in a list there are multiple names, and if a particular name occurs, you have to stop that. Okay, so you can use that. So here we have a names. This is a list names: Suchita, Rishi, Roni, right? So I'm printing all the names. So this name is printed. Now if you get Suchita, stop it. Okay, if name is equals to Suchita, break, else print complete the list. Okay, I'll just run it. So you see, as soon as I get the name Suchita, it is not going to run the for loop again, and then else is also not run, and we are totally outside of the else block. Similarly, there are multiple ways to use this if and all, and there are many programs where you can try to learn what things are happening. Okay, so this is a basic program to calculate the divisors of a number. So you input the number, you convert it into integer. Then I'm making a list here, and list I'm already having 1 here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to check from 2 to half of that number. What is happening, why half of that number is like if I want to check if any number is getting divided, like if I want to check what are the numbers which are divided sorry, which are dividing 15. Okay, so all those numbers which are up to 15 divided by 2, that is 7.5. So if all the numbers from 1 to 7, whatever the numbers that will be dividing 15 will lie between 1 to 7. Okay, not above the 7. Okay, no numbers above 7 is going to divide. Why? Let me explain it. So if I want to divide 15, let's take it 10. So only the numbers that are 10 divided by 2, that is up to 5, are going to divide the 10. Why can't 6 divide 10? Because 6 goes to the 2 times, it will be 12. It is above this number, so I cannot divide with 12. Okay, and 6 is itself is not dividing 10. That is why any number which is less than half of any number is there are chances that it could be a factor of that. So half of that number. Then why are we writing plus 1? Because range function does not include the last number, so plus 1. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide that number with the divisor. Divisor is basically the numbers from this range from 2 to that half of that number. and going to check whether the remainder is 0. If it is 0, then add into that list, add that number into list. So adding, we did a command that is called as dot append. Append means add that value into my list. So what is that value? Division. Whichever divisor is dividing our number and the remainder is 0, add into that list, and then we are printing that list. So it is asking me to please enter a positive number. I enter 50, and you see the output will be all the numbers less than equals to 25. See, less than equals to 25. 1, 2, 5, 10, and 25. Similarly, you can also try this in another way. There are other ways also which you can try to find the divisors of number. Okay, like we did break now. So break is going to stop the flow of program, but if we use continue, so it is going to ignore that line and it is going to print. See, Suchita, Rakesh, and Roni, these are the names, okay, in this list. And if name is equals to Rakesh, as soon as I get Rakesh in this names list, stop. Break means stop that flow. So I'm going to get only Suchita, but continue is going to ignore that case and continue the loop again. So if name is equals to Rakesh, ignore that and again go to the for loop. So instead of stopping at there only, it is going to ignore it. So Suchita, okay, got Rakesh, ignore it, go to the next, repeat again the loop. So it is moving ahead with next numbers. So we got Roshni. So first three divisors of a number except 2 and 3, and similarly like that. Okay, so here we did one of the major portion, that is loops. If I have a program for you, if you can solve it, try doing it. So the program is find the, not find, if you print the table of any number. So if user inputs like 5, then your output should be like this: 5 star 1 equals to 5, then 5 star 2 is equals to 10. So it will go up to 50. 5 star 10 is equals to 50, like this. Any number user can input, so you have to print the table of that. Then next code will be to print the digits of any number. So for this you have to do a basic research. I'll tell you what you have to use. You cannot solve it if you do not understand this logic. So let me explain you the logic. So I have a number 1, 2, 3. Okay, if I divide it by 2, I'm going, and if you just consider the quotient part, what I'm going to get it by 10, not 2 but 10. So what I'm going to get is 12. Okay, now if I'm going to divide it by 10 and ask only the remainder, so I'm getting the last digit. Okay, so this is going to be used here. Print the digits of any number. So user will input, suppose if I enter 123, so output should be 3, 2, and 1. How it can be? It can be, first the number is 123. Then I'm going to do is number is equals to number divided, sorry, number modulus equals to 10. Okay, that will give us the last digit. Now you see, I want the I got the 3. Now I don't want 3, so what I want only 12. So again I'm going to store 12 back into our n. So now n is equals to n modulus 10, n, sorry, double slash 10, and we have to repeat it. So first line will be n is equals to 123, then we have n modulus 10. Okay, this is not n, this is digit, this is what I want. So digit will be 3. Now number is equal to n double 12, so 12. Now again repeat it. So n is equals to 12, digit is equals to modulus n. So we have 2, then again n is equals to what? We'll get n is equals to 1. Okay, now again n is equals to 1, digit is equals to 1. Why 1 divided by 10? If you divide 1 divided by 10, what remainder you are going to get? 1, because it is not going to divide, that's why. But if you try to find the quotient, it is going to give us what? 0. Okay, it is not possible. So you have to take care that n is greater than 0. So you can use while loop, while n is greater than 0, and then you can keep doing this. You keep doing this and your answer will be there at the end. This is your program. So I have written the logic here. I hope if you can just convert it into some coding language. In fact, the code is also given here. So try doing these two programs. If it is hard, just drop a text message into WhatsApp and we can discuss over there. But I request you to please do it tomorrow, uh, because we are going to explore these topics in great depth tomorrow. So it's better you solve these two basic questions for today. So if anybody has any questions, please drop it now. Any questions, please? Okay, so I think we can end this meeting then now. Thank you everyone, and I'll upload the this video onto the YouTube and you can watch it later. Thank you.